Hey amazing artists, Mrs. Parven here, and today I'm going to teach you all about sculptures. A sculpture is a three-dimensional work of art, which means it exists in space. It's not flat like a flat piece of paper, but it has multiple sides, so you can look at it from the front, the top, the side, the bottom, the back, and so on. So sculptures can be made with all sorts of materials, and usually they're done by either carving into something or building up something. Remember, it has to have multiple sides in order to be a sculpture. Let me show you what I mean.
Here are two sculptures made out of stone or marble. Stone is a very hard surface, so imagine carving into it. The one on the right is an ancient sculpture, and the one on the left is a modern sculpture, but they're both sculptures of people. Isn't that amazing? Sculptures can also be shaped out of metal, wood, or even paper. The face on the right is sculpted out of torn pieces of paper, and the origami star on the left is by folding the paper a certain way.
So let's talk about paper sculptures. You're probably thinking, Mrs. Parven, you just told me paper was flat. But we can change and manipulate paper in different ways so that it's no longer flat. Our first project is going to be to make a sculpture out of paper. Let me show you how.
Okay, so you're going to want one large piece of paper to build your sculpture on. I chose black, and then some scraps of paper. I have a scrap box that I keep. So you want to have some cut into strips, maybe some cut into squares, different shapes. And then if you lay it flat, it's a collage. But notice if we pop it up, all of a sudden it becomes a sculpture. Pop it up. So just kind of play around with your strips. Here's a circle. I'm going to make an accordion fold, which means I'm going to fold a little square, and then I'm going to fold it in the opposite direction. It's kind of like a zigzag line out of the paper, and you're just going to keep going back and forth up the length of the strip of paper. And make sure you really press on those folds each direction, like so. To make a curl, you want to take a pencil or a marker and you're going to wrap the strip of paper around that pencil really tightly and just keep twisting until you go the whole length like so. And then you're going to slide it off the pencil. And now you have a beautiful little paper curl like this that I can glue down. You just want to put the glue on a flat end of the strip. If you have a square of paper, we can do a pop-up. So you're going to fold the square like so until you have a little tent. And we're going to be cutting just on the folded part, any shape you want. Make sure you don't cut all the way through. Leave a little bit connected to the square. And then you're going to fold it in the opposite direction. And now it's popped up. Now to glue it down, I need to make little ridges for it. I'm going to do that by folding each edge the opposite way, just a little strip of it. And that's going to be where I'll be able to put the glue right along there. And I'm going to do that on both sides so that it can pop up. The next one is called a tab. So you're going to take a rectangular square and you're just going to start by cutting little slits up one side of the shape. Then you're going to fold in opposite directions. So some will get folded up like this, every other one, and the other ones are going to get folded down. Whoops, sorry about that. It's hard to see. There we go. So I'm folding these in the opposite direction, and now it's going to allow me to put the piece flat on my sculpture like so. Here's an accordion fold with two pieces of paper. I've glued them together at the corner in the shape of an L or a V. And you're going to start by taking the bottom strip and folding it tight over the top, pressing it down. So whichever color is on the bottom is what you're going to be folding over. You just keep folding over and press. Bottom folds over and press. And keep going the length of the paper. Press, fold over and press. I'm just rotating it around as I'm going. From fold over, and press, fold over and press till you get to the end. Now I'm noticing the yellow is a little longer, so I'm going to just snip that and then glue the purple end down so that it stays in place. But now I have a cool 2-color accordion. I'm going to make a tiny curl now, so you have to pinch the end really tight and curl the paper onto itself. This will actually help it stand up. Sorry, it's hard to see because my fingers are in the way, but just nice and tight, keep curling to the length of the paper. So I'm at the end here. I have a nice tight little core, and that's going to help it stand up on my paper. You're going to find a spot wherever you want. Now my paper sculpture is looking really cool. I almost think this looks like a playground or maybe an amusement park. Have a lot of fun with making your sculptures. You can really turn them into anything you want. There it is, it's finished.
So for your second choice, we're going to be inspired by a sculptor named Alberto Giacometti, who made these really interesting stretched out figures out of metal. Well, carving metal will be really hard, but there's something around our house that we can use to make a metal sculpture. Let me show you how.
So here's the top secret ingredient: aluminum foil, silver foil. Most of you should have a roll of this in your kitchen. So you're going to tear a sheet, lay it flat, and we're going to start by folding it in half, just like this. And then smooth it out, and then fold it in half again in the same direction. This will give us a nice tall figure. And then grab your scissors, and you're going to cut up about 1/3 of the way, right in the middle, and these will help shape the legs for our figure. And then we're going to just squish that together so it starts to become, going from flat to form, it starts becoming a sculpture. The tighter and thicker you make it, the stronger your legs will be. Now we're going to move from the legs to the head, and you're going to just make it into a round sort of oval ball shape. Start squeezing the body also, like so. So you can see it's starting to take the shape of a figure. I have another piece here of narrow piece that I'm going to just kind of roll and fold onto each other. This is going to become the arms. So roll it really tight. When you have your tight coil like this, you can make little hands on the ends. We're going to tape it on one side of the body to hold the arms in place. Just a little piece of Scotch tape should do the trick. Masking tape or duct tape is fine too. And now we want to hold those arms in place with another little piece of foil. So I'm going to kind of just wrap that and scrunch that around the body. Keep squishing it until it's stable and it becomes 3D. And now you can make your figure do anything you want. You could pose it, give it props, it could play a sport, you could even make clothes for it. Here I'm going to have my 2 figures maybe play a little basketball. Here we go.
Your last choice to make a sculpture is something we do on reward days quite a bit, and that's going to be a found object sculpture or a recyclable sculpture. So what you're going to want to do is gather a bunch of different recyclables or materials that you can make a sculpture out of. Cardboard, egg cartons, toilet paper tubes. Maybe you have some popsicle sticks at home. These are great. Muffin cups. be creative, and then you're going to put them together in an interesting way to make your sculpture. Let me show you what I mean.
This is a found object sculpture by the artist Louise Nevelson. I've turned it on its side so you could see it a little better, but she just gathered things around her house or in her community, arranged and put them together, and made this visual abstract sculpture. I've gathered some different materials around my house. Kleenex boxes, egg cartons, these cones that held yarn, tubes, popsicle sticks, cups, and so on. Make sure you ask your grown-up if it's okay to use these things. These are old gift cards, and you just kind of want to make a big pile in front of you first to start. Then start playing around with some of your recyclables. So I like these cones here. It looks like an ice cream cone. So I could maybe take some of the packing paper and bunch it up and make an ice cream cone. It could be a hat. So you want to kind of play around to get some ideas and get inspired by your materials. What could I do with these? Yep, maybe arms. So just kind of keep trying until you come up with a plan. Egg cartons are great because you can cut the individual sections out. These make terrific noses, ears, or different structures. So that's how that would work. Same with toilet paper tubes. You can actually cut these across for eyes, noses, just like so. So here's some different ways you could also, cut this as a thicker piece. You could cut it down the side like this and open it up. So just play around with it. I'm not going to make a sculpture because I want you to come up with your own ideas, but you should make a plan what you're going to do. So I have a little sketch here and I've labeled everything so I'll know what I'm going to build it out of.
Don't forget to send me pictures of your amazing creations. And remember, stay awesome, keep smiling, and know how much I miss you. Bye.